Hey, what's going on everybody? We are back with another video. It's hoodie season in New York and I'm wearing my Nintendo NES controller hoodie. So big thumbs up to that. As you may remember from about a month ago, actually a month and a week to be exact, I made a video talking about how I'm slow building my units. So I kind of just wanted to update you guys on the progress since I pretty much am today finishing Tifa to level 120. Now, on that video, I was talking about how I wanted to get Tifa to 115 before the end of the event, because at that point, she's sort of at a usable range, not perfect, but, at least a usable range. And I'm happy to report that since that day, I have gotten her to 200 more Mind Spheres, so I'm going to update her as soon as I get those Alcherists there. So if we actually go to Cloud as well, I actually brought him up from 99 to 115. So basically, I was probably at some amount of Mind Spheres. I can't really remember from the top of my head at this moment. But I was able to bring... So essentially, I earned myself 300 Mind Spheres along the way. So I think that was actually really good. And it feels like it didn't drag on too long. So I'm really, really happy with where I'm at now. I was kind of thinking along the way after I had gotten like the first 100 Mind Spheres that if you kind of figured out having three Final Fantasy VII units or three from a specific collab in your barracks, it actually only takes 17 days to get 100 shards, and that's actually not even that bad. So it's 3 units a day, 2 shards per unit, and then divide that into 100, and it comes out to like 17 days and maybe some change. So that is actually not even that bad. So I essentially am able to, if I have 3 of the same collab in there, I'm able to get 200 Mind Spheres for a unit in about a month's worth of time. So I was able to get Cloud to 115 and Tifa to 120. So I think in terms of having 3 units, I think it's really, really good because technically building all 3 units is going to take you a long time, but since you're kind of building 1 unit at a time, or you're going for 200 Mind Spheres at a time, you kind of feel that progress. Like, yes, okay, this is like a milestone day. So it's like, I was super happy when I finally got Cloud to 115, and now I will get Tifa from 115 to 120. So on the other hand, I kind of regret doing the same thing for Lara Croft and for Elena. So my Lara Croft is at job level 22 is what I really mean when I say 115. She's not actually at 115. But I have her at 118 Mind Spheres, so less than 100 Mind Spheres to go. But considering it's only 1 unit, that's going to be 200 or 2 Mind Spheres per day, and it's going to take me like 40 more days basically to do Lara. I kind of regret not bringing Lara up further before her event ended because there was a class match between now and then, and I wanted to use her for that class match. I did, but like she wasn't as good as she could have been, so I ended up like not really using that team. And if we go to Elena, she's kind of like way behind compared to Lara. I'm building her, but my plan was sort of to wait for the rerun of, the festival units as people call them, and sort of just, Mog shop, Mind Sphere shop, and maybe buy some shards from there. So, Elena kind of just lagged behind quite a bit. So in summary, basically what I'm saying is when you have 3 units from the same collab, even though it technically takes the same amount of time because you're building the 3 units now, you kind of have those milestones along the way where you finally get a unit to 115 or you finally get a unit to 120. So it kind of gives you the good rewarding feeling. So I totally recommend doing that if you have 3 units. Okay, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say for that. So let me go into another thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my JP version here. And so what I have here is my barracks in the JP version. So what I kind of want to talk about is how it's actually going to get a little bit easier to slow build your units. And by a little bit, I mean like a little bit, guys. It's not going to be super amazing, but it's going to be a little bit. I think this should be coming up pretty soon in global, like within the month, hopefully. But let me go into it and show you guys. So in my JP version, I'm just gonna ignore this for now. I have Prompto and my 9S that I'm still kind of working on. I don't really take this account that seriously. But now, in terms of the food that you get in the barracks, so not only do we have our regular stuff, but if we scroll over here to the right, we have these new things that are, I guess I'll call them potions, but what they're really called are fragment and then whatever color they are. So let me go into here. And so what you can actually do is for the smaller ones, you can actually just buy them for gil. This is an insane amount of gil. It's a million gil. So it's the same as doing a one times normal summon. So keep in mind that this is a lot of gil for those of you who run out of guild quickly. But you can essentially buy them the same way you would buy any food in the barracks. So you can pretty much go up to as much gil as you have. But, you know, I take this account casually, so I haven't really been using it like that. Okay, so then there's the blue one. Oh, and so when you click on it, you can see, well, for those of you that can read katakana, it says fragment green and fragment blue. And I'm guessing that just means shard green and shard blue. So I just call them the shard potions. Okay, so if I come back to here, you know, going from here to here where you buy them and here where you use them, I accidentally used it before. And so what you can see down here is that it actually tells you the amount of time that it gives you basically. And basically what that does is it takes that time off of the counter on the guild chart. So if you have 4 hours left on 9S, it'll take the 2 hours off of him, and you can get your shards 2 hours sooner, basically. So if you keep using these potions daily, you can keep getting yourself like, you know, 1 or 2 extra shards every couple of days. I'm not entirely sure how that math works out, but as you guys can see here, the green one, I kind of canceled it out, but it's a minute or an hour. The blue one is 2 hours, 6 hours, and 12 hours. But the thing is, you can use one, and then there's a timer until you can use it again. So just check it out up here, guys. Actually, let's look at our 9S. So he's at 424. We are going to use our blue potion. So that should be 2 hours. That's 2 hours, and it gives us the 2,000 food there. And so he's at 224. So that's should be coming pretty soon. I don't know the exact date, but I think that's coming pretty soon. I think it's coming with the FF15 stuff. There's one other thing I wanted to say here. Oh, and so you can buy the blue and the green ones. The yellow and purple, I think you actually get them from events or from the mog shop or something. Let's check the mog shop to see if there are any in there. I probably should have screenshotted this or something. But so this is a raid. This is sort of like an event. I think they really just come in like the random, you know, like the anniversary shops and stuff like that. Right now we have like a bunch of events going, so I don't know why I'm saying we, because it's really they in the JP version. My JP account is pretty trash, so I don't consider myself part of the JP version. But maybe they're here in the shop somewhere. Let's kind of just look and see if we don't see them. They don't really show up in the normal shop. They just kind of show up in these kind of shops where it's like, you know, the first thing here, maybe. And okay, so it looks like they're not really there. All right, so the one last thing I wanted to mention is actually I found this website which sort of was the announcement of these shard potions, as we'll call them. And it's dated as 7/13, so that's essentially 4 months ago. And I know we're kind of like 4 months behind the JP version. So that's kind of why I said that they're gonna come soon. Oh, I didn't realize I covered my face, guys. Sorry about that. All right, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. The slow building is kind of paying off, and it's gonna pay off a little bit more considering that those potions are coming. So I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know if you guys know about the kind of stuff that's in the JP version ahead of time, But I know like some other people really only focus on units that are coming in the JP version. So I thought that was a neat little feature to kind of bring up. All right, guys, so that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.